community is often accused of defending the status quo. But I can assure you that there is not a person here who doesn't understand that public education reforms must keep evolving to meet the changing needs of our students. We believe, however, that these reforms should be based on sound research and a proven track record. In the last couple of years, school districts have seen several major changes in education policy, including educators who are responsible for student learning are now evaluated on student achievement. Our lowest performing schools, priority schools, are receiving intensive interventions and support. Universities can now create unlimited number of charter schools. There's been an expansion of cyber schools, an adoption of the Common Core curriculum, and an emphasis on closing the achievement gap. School districts have barely had the opportunity to put these and other reforms into action. What we need right now is a period of stability as these changes are fully implemented, and then measure whether they're working or not. What we don't need are new, untested, and unproven experiments being rushed through lame duck, making our students experimental pawns. There are states right now doing a great job of reaching the governor's metrics of third grade reading proficiency, growth from 3rd to 8th grade, and ACT college readiness. We can learn from these states and propose that we use these proven reforms to guide our own education policies. Thoughtful, deliberate, and evidence-driven debate is essential when the consequences to our children are so far-reaching. To do anything less would be irresponsible. We have a few other folks who are as equally concerned about this issue and would like to make some comments. I'd like to start first with William Mayes, who is the Executive Director of the Michigan Association of School Administrators.
Thank you, Kathy, and I appreciate all of you being here today. This is an extremely critical issue for all of us, and most importantly for the state of Michigan. Our concern is that we're trying to create an experiment with our children, your children, and that's just not right. That's not right for the state of Michigan. We're not against change, and we're not against evolving. We have done that, and we've done it with less money than we've ever had, and we continue to do it on a daily basis. But the bottom line is to rush through and put in legislation that will change and experiment with our children is absolutely just totally wrong. It's important that we not allow the EAA to expand after, 3 months, 6 months at most, when it was a concept originally. And I can only tell you, the present EAA director right now, some of the things that he had put in place in Kansas City have already been removed because when the data came back, they were not successful. They did not do the things that they were supposed to do. Why would we experiment with our children at a time like this? This legislation proposes to hand over all the keys of all of our school reform to the EAA and have it be a political appointment. Bypass the Department of Education. Bypass the people who are elected to oversee the education of our students. Why are we in a rush? Why do we try to cram it in the 3 weeks of lame duck? It makes absolutely no sense. And especially the way they're being talked about right now, expanding its capability to run schools without any of the regulations or few of the oversight that all public schools in Michigan have today. It's not right. It's an experiment. Our children deserve better. Additionally, creating new forms of schools, saying, let's throw it out. And let's just create new storefront schools or whatever type of school we want to create. Give it into the hands of for-profit companies and allow them to do their experimenting with our kids. And they can do it for a couple years, they can take their profits, and they can leave. It's not right. It's not proven, it's not data-driven, and that's the bottom line. We want data that says good things are going to happen to the children that we're educating in the state of Michigan, for Michigan, your children, our children, and grandchildren. We have, in America, states that are doing the job, and they're held up to us by our governor and others as saying, why can't we be like Massachusetts, New Jersey, New Hampshire, and Maryland? Well, I met with the executive directors of their superintendents associations this week. And I'm telling you, yeah, they do have some good things, and they are willing to share them, and they're not experiments. They're proven, and they work, and let's explore them first. We have school districts in the state of Michigan who are beating the odds. Let's be there. Let's talk to them. Let's ramp that up and make that happen in all the school districts across the state. We don't need to experiment with our children. And finally, the Oxford report that's coming out. Now, I'm not cynical. Anybody in this room who knows me knows I'm one of the most upbeat people in the world. But when one of the co-authors of that document was the author of the voucher plan that was overwhelmingly defeated by all of the citizens in the state of Michigan, I have a problem. A voucher by any other name is a voucher. And putting money into for-profit schools is not good for the children of Michigan. And I'm telling you, one and all, we have to stand up and we have to make sure that the anytime, any place, anywhere, any pace, I'm just going to tell you, it's nice, it's a great soundbite. But in reality, it has to be quality. And in reality, we have to make sure that it's not just for-profit people coming in to take the money and run, but that it's quality education with proper oversight to make sure that our children who are there now, receiving their education now, get the best possible education that they can have. We shouldn't be experimenting. We can't be experimenting. Michigan deserves absolutely the best.